welcome to Bad at Board Games.
Well, he's bad at board games.
Rah! Rah!
Y'all.
I got something that's more annoying to Toph. It just keeps going and going and going. Isn't it great? Did you like a little Tyrannosaurus Rex? Hi. Hello, I'm Tyrannosaurus Rex guy. He's so happy. I like that look. That's what I strive for right there. That look right there. Stick around. Watch me annoy Toph more. I knew this was going to do that. Oh, I'm so happy. How about you? You happy? Are you happy to be here?
I question the decisions I make in my life on a regular basis.
What are we talking about today, Toph?
Today we are talking about Lunar Rush.
Lunar Rush.
Yes.
This is going to be a rapid review, not a full in-depth review. Full disclaimer, when we do rapid reviews, sometimes we've played them 10 times. Most of the time we haven't. And Toph hasn't played this one at all. So I'm going to talk about it. He's going to sit here and I'm going to make fun of him while we do.
He's going to annoy me the whole time.
Wow, like this. I have new toys.
He's like a child, but
Yes.
like a child that is not your own child, because when it's your own child, you have to love them. This is like a child that comes around and just annoys you.
You want that child to go home.
Like, all of a sudden, I am re-questioning my entire childhood of reading like comics and seeing the annoyance of the little child come around to the neighbor's backyard.
Great. Love it. Anyway.
So today we're going to be talking about Lunar Rush, which is a 2023 game by Stephen Brown. It is published by Dead Alive Games.
Yes, and the theme is you're taking stuff to the moon, and then you're going to mine stuff on the moon, and then you're going to bring it back to Earth and sell it like the good capitalist you are.
I would love if Brad took things to the moon and just stayed, maybe. I don't know. I would miss my friends sometimes.
Yeah. So the appearance, it looks nice. This is the deluxe version. I ended up getting this at Gen Con. I think that's all they had at Gen Con was the deluxe version. So got some really nice acrylic pieces, and then you've got the upgraded cubes, and like this is a really cool looking, you know, blue diamond looking thing. And then you've got the Lost Ruins of Arnak molded stones, some, you know, plastic gold pieces.
I knew this mold from somewhere.
Yeah, everybody is using the Lost Ruins of Arnak mold to make something. Red pieces, green pieces, blue pieces, whatever.
Which is a good time to say, if you are somebody who wants to start upgrading your games and you don't know how to do it, it's okay to buy generic pieces and use them in every game, because, well, that's what publishers do. So it works.
Exactly.
And it looks awesome.
So just remember that they're doing it. You can too. But I really like the way it looks. Trying to go over, I guess I'm going to give you our BGG rating, my BGG rating up front for those of you who want a really rapid review, and then the few of you who want to know a few more things about it, stick around after this. I think this game it's a solid 7. I wanted a little bit more mad chaos like Robo Rally.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like Robo Rally we have fun with, or Zombicide. Like, you're kind of trying to find those games that are like really like, oh, I got in your way, and it's fun, and like you kind of get in each other's way in this one, but not as much as like I was hoping it would be. And there's a bidding mechanism, but I think it's a solid 7. And the other good thing about it is if you're looking for an easy game to teach people and you want a quick game that you can play multiple games in a game night, this is the game. Like, this was less than an hour, and that surprised me. I really thought this was going to be a couple hour game, and you know, it's got 7 turns, so you think 7 turns and it's going to go pretty fast, but there's enough simultaneous play when you're going and doing things that the game moves pretty quick, and then the turns move pretty fast. So all in all, solid 7. You know, I can recommend it if you're looking for sub 1 hour games and something easy to teach. And I found that watching the game, how it was played, easier to learn than reading the rules. After I watched it and then read it, then they kind of made sense. I don't know why I was having a hard time maybe I was tired. I was trying to read it at Gen Con. There was a lot going on. So, I'm not saying the rules are bad. Once I saw somebody and how they did it, the rules made a lot more sense is all. So
Did you demo this at Gen Con?
I did not. I picked this one up because it kind of had some pre-form hype about it. And so it was on my wish list to pick up. And so like, people were like, oh, our game group really thought it was fun, like the mad fun chaos kind of thing. And, I think I liked it more than the rest of the people in the game group. But I don't think that makes this a bad game. I don't think it's a 6. I think, like I said, it's sticking at a solid 7. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Nothing wrong with that. 7's not a bad score necessarily.
It's not.
7's is probably the sweet spot for most gaming groups when you want to sit down and kind of funnel through some games to play. So, I think that's a great idea, a great score. So awesome.
Do you want to take us through the mechanics?
Yeah, so there's a few mechanics of this game. It's not in depth, and like Brad said, I have not actually played it itself. But when you're sitting down to play this, you're going to be taking a look at things like auction and bidding, which is not a mechanic that I tend to like, but is a mechanic that Brad likes a lot, and I think he likes to stick it to me. That's why I'm kind of saying, no, I don't want you to get this, whatever that good benefit is, so I'm going to overbid you. And so that's a good fun little market, especially when you talk about the chaos.
Yeah, the way you bid is you've got 5 cards, and you're bidding for first turn, and then whoever gets second, whoever gets third. And sometimes you don't want to go first, and you're bidding your victory points. So, and then at the end of the game, they multiply it. So like at turn 5 out of 7, it doubles. So if I bid 5 points, it's now 10 victory points that I lose immediately, and then you're hoping to get it back. And then on the 6th turn, it's times 3. And on the 7th turn, it's times 5. So if you're just going to pick your number 2 out of 5 cards here, that's 10 victory points you're going to lose. And the minimum you're going to lose on the last turn is 5. So like, it's, and then you lose that card. So it's not like you bid and then you get it back. If you bid 5 on one turn, you don't have a 5 anymore.
Whereas if you play it safe, like sometimes I do, then you hold out the 5 for the end of the game. All of a sudden, you are losing
15 victory points.
Not 15, 25. Yeah, 25 victory points.
Nobody did that. Nobody went all. I think I bid 3 to get the 15 points.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I should have. But
you live and learn.
Yep.
And then you play the game again. It doesn't really matter. We're bad at board games. We lose all the time.
Exactly.
It is what it is. So
exactly.
So auction bidding is going to be one. Market's going to be another one.
Yep. So once you come back to Earth, there's several different types of cards that you can have, and they all have different bidding tracks. So it can go up and down, it can go linear. When you sell something, it will then, like if you sell one item, it's typically going to stay at the highest market value. But if you sell 5, it's going to drop all the way down for the next person that sells it, and then it'll move back up. So every turn, it's only going to go back and increase in price a couple. But if you're only selling 1 or 2, which was most of the case in our game, you're pretty much staying at the maximum amount. I think we played a 3-player game. If you had a 4-player game, more of those items might have been sold in a turn, which would have driven the price down. Oh, like I sold gold, and then the next person sold gold, and the next person. So, and it all kind of depends on in that round. So, I thought it was interesting. I liked the way that it worked. I didn't find it as, I was expecting the value to go down throughout the game, but it didn't, because it kept coming back up.
Yeah.
At the end of the turn. So I think maybe if it, instead of at the end of the turn, maybe at like halfway through the game, they all reset the market price or something like that. But
it resets every turn.
If you sell 1 good, it's moving back 2 spaces. So you only moved it down 1 and it moved back 2. So it's back to home. If you sold 2 to 3, it would move back 1 spot. So it's just kind of this give and take, depending on which one of these you have. In our game, I think it was all the way to the end before we really saw the market deviate down enough that it didn't go all the way back up. So I guess that's kind of one of the cons. But but it's an interesting little market. It's not complicated. You don't have to be like, if you're not a economic or train game where they're always trying to sell stuff and things, this isn't that.
Yeah.
It's deliver something, bring it back, get victory points for that thing.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about too much about like an economy and things like that. You're just trying to like get your engine going.
Yeah.
And go on.
I love markets that are fluctuating, like a true economic market. There's a simple little quick game, Mystic Market, that does that so well, and that's the chaos, oftentimes that comes into play, which is pretty cool. So,
yeah, exactly.
A couple other little things that you'll notice, probably one of my absolute favorite mechanics when it comes to board games, worker placement, but then also, which we've talked about, selection order. So not only worker placement, but then also kind of who's going to be going when.
Yeah,
cool.
The worker placement's nice because you're not competing like normal worker placement. You have workers on your board and you're going to continue to upgrade your habitat. You've got 6 different spaces here, plus 2 side areas where you can have extra mines that you might do. And your workers are going out on there. So nobody's like taking them away. So you have your own little tableau, you have your own engine, you get to make your own action selections to figure out what resources you want. And then, as you upgrade them, you're going to get more resources for the workers that you have in that spot. So it's really just trying to optimize that engine and how you want to go. And I think you'd like it quite a bit because of that. Because you're not having to like fight somebody else. And I know you like to like manage your own board Euro-ish style.
I'm a Euro gamer.
Yeah. And so you get that with this. The chaos is kind of out there about, oh, I didn't get the route I wanted and these different kinds of things. So
yeah, it sounds like exactly what I like. Worker placement, I love upgrading my board. I love engine building. I love, so there's a lot of things in this game that I'm sure when I play it, it'll be good. Yeah.
So a general overview about how the game plays, and I guess I'm going to use this little cheat sheet. So there is the auction phase where you're going to bid for, try to get first, second, or third, and then you're going to place your ship, and it's double-sided or indented so that you can either pick a fast route, a medium route, or a long route, and then depending on which route you pick, the fast route, you can put 2 things on, and immediately you can use them on the moon that turn. The medium route, you can put 5 things on your spaceship, but it's 2 turns before you're going to get them to be able to use them on your moon base. The third route, you get 9 things, which is great, but then it's 3 rounds before you get it to the moon so that you can unload it and then have a bunch of stuff that is going to help you parlay and really get your engine going. And you start with like, I think 5 astronauts or 4 on the moon. The rest of them are on Earth. So you have to send your astronauts too, and they take up spots. And then so that's phase 1, and you can pick whether you want your spaceships going to the moon or from the moon. And so most of us were like, oh, one's going to the moon, one's coming back to the moon from the moon. At the end, Jamon took 2 spaces coming back.
Kind of screwed everybody over.
Well, yeah. And so like being the last person in the last round was tough because then like Jill wasn't able to get a ship coming back kind of thing. So like, you're really having to anticipate. And those are some of the things where you can block people because you're going to get to put 2 ships out, but you could put 2 ships going to Earth, or you could put 2 ships coming back. It alternates back and forth. So depending on how somebody might play, you might be like, I'm gonna get that.
There's a little bit of chaos.
Right. And that's where I thought like a lot of the tension would be. And it wasn't so bad, but you're like, oh, I got stuck with the fast lane and I only can send 2 things to the moon, or, oh, I got stuck with the fast lane. I can only bring 1 thing back to sell on my turn kind of thing. So, that, I guess that's in a nutshell, the game. You have an Earth phase, you have a moon phase, and you have 3 different routes. It's either taking 3 turns to get up there, 2 turns to get up there, or 1 turn. And then once you're at the moon, then you're going to be placing workers to then, try to get more resources that you're going to send back to Earth to sell. And then at the end of that round, you have to have enough oxygen for your astronauts. So if you let an astronaut die, you lose 25 victor points.
That's not as bad as it could be.
They're not messing around though, but that's a significant amount. Now, the game is point salad as all get out. You can get 300 points in this game. Jamon got over 200. We all got over 100, almost got to 200. So it's just one of those, like, there's a lot of points generated. I think I watched, a I can't remember. Watch It Played.
Okay.
I don't know if it's Watch It Played. Naveen.
Before you play.
Before you play.
Yeah.
They both had like over 300 victory points in their game that they played. So Piont Salad, fast, fun. I thought it was a fun little game. So
yeah, works for me.
Yeah.
So do you want to go into any cons and pros that you have with the gameplay?
I think the biggest con I had was I was just wanting more chaos. I think the pro is that it played quickly. You can play it multiple times in a game or multiple times in a night if you wanted to. Like you could play this back to back 2 or 3 times, no problem. And I think your second and third time are going to be even faster, right? So everybody kind of like, oh, that strategy didn't quite work, especially with new players, right? Mm-hmm. So like we were able to just like, okay, let's flip it and try it again and go for it. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to go and try to get this thing this time or these mines or this extra thing. And they have randomness where you're going to get a selection of these gold add-ons for your area. And like Jamon got one that was like a little kid's train. And so every time he went there, he got like 15 points. And then there was the adult like high bullet train. If you were able to build that, every time you went there, you get an extra 25 points. We weren't able to build that one, but like, and then I got the one that allowed me to have like 10 oxygen for one worker. So I never had to really worry about oxygen. So I was trying to send as many workers to the moon as I could so that I could just get more stuff out. So that there's enough randomness in here. If you like the game and the mechanic, there's a lot of different ways to play
replayability.
Yeah. So that's a pro. And then I said like the only con I had was that it was just wasn't as fast or wasn't as chaotic as I was kind of hoping it would be.
Yeah,
that's all.
So that's not necessarily a con of the game, but of the experience that you have.
Yeah.
Somebody who maybe not want a whole lot of conflict play in their game, maybe just a little bit, might like it a little bit more because of that. Like that.
Go for it.
So the BGG site currently for this game is listing it as a 2.75 weight rating.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you have played it, what do you believe in terms of the weight? Is that accurate? Do you think it's something different?
I think it's less.
Okay.
I think this game is not hard. I might push it down to like a 2 to a 2.25.
Wow.
Like, okay. I don't think there's a lot of complexity in this. And I think that's why it plays so fast. I don't think it's that, I really don't think this is that difficult at all. Now, you may play it and think a little bit different, but this is not pushing a 3.
Okay.
At best, it's a 2.5.
Even with like these extra cards and upgrading the board, all that kind of stuff?
Any of it. Okay. Yeah. I just don't think this is a 2.75 at all. I mean, that's pushing Castles of Burgundy. Castles of Burgundy is way harder than this.
Yeah.
It took me a lot longer to teach Castles of Burgundy to people who have never played it. This was like, oh, watch me do this. This is in 10 minutes we were going. And then after the first turn, people knew exactly how to play. Now, they may not have had the best tactics because,
that comes with gameplay.
It's new. Yeah. We haven't played it 10 times and knowing how we're going to like manipulate and squeeze every point out and all of that. But this was not hard. But I think people may think it's a 2.75 because, like I said, once I watched the game, it was easier to understand the rules and I almost didn't need to read the rules anymore. But reading the rules it was like, I'm not 100% sure what they're saying. But like like anything, after you watch it, it's like, oh, I completely understand. That makes a whole bunch of sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is with that disconnect, but this is nobody. I don't think any of us would have said this is pushing a 3.
Well, it's good to know, and that's also probably, in my opinion, reflective. Granted, I've not played the game, but in hearing you talk about it and hearing the recap of game night and those that have played it, how quick it plays, and quick, obviously this is all relative, but for us, an hour game is quick setup, reflective of a relatively lighter midweight game as opposed to a heavier game. So excellent.
Absolutely.
So currently this game is listed MSRP on the website as $75 for the deluxe edition, about 60, I think 59 for the standard edition.
Yep.
You bought the deluxe edition. So that's what we've got sitting here on the table. What do you think about the value? What's your value rating between?
So I think it's a bit expensive So between 75 and 60, I'd probably spend the 75 if you're interested, because it's only $15 more and the components are a lot better.
Oh my goodness,
right?
These components are beautiful.
You know,
yeah.
Like I would say the upgrade is worth it just in that, but I think it's for what the game is, I would have to say the value is pushing like a 2.5. I think it's too expensive for what the game is, you know. Like I think if I'd have had more Mad Chaos and things like that, then it would have been like this, like, you know, it could have pushed it to maybe a 3, but even at that, at best, it would have been a 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think it's a little bit too much. I think there's other games out there, but you know, acrylic isn't cheap.
No,
you know, and this is laser cut or water jet cut, you know, out of a sheet of acrylic that's not injection molded. So it's a nice component.
Yeah, and they're silk screened, which is nice as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, you know, I see exactly what you mean. You know, I'm racking my brain thinking of games that are similar in size and scale, and you know, you can get dual layer boards, you can get nice components with different molds in games that cost $50, you know, as opposed to 75. So yeah, I can understand that.
Yep. So that's kind of it. I've already given my BGG rating. Hopefully you all enjoyed and like this little quick review. I don't know how quick it is.
That's good.
Maybe it's been longer than I thought, but
maybe not so rapid. Maybe this is a quicker review than normal.
Quicker than some of our reviews. Great Western Trail was what, an hour?
Great Western Trail also had a lot more complexity, a lot more components, a lot more of a background, a story, everything else. Yep. So, you know, yeah, it's a little bit longer of a video. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Let us know your thoughts. Have you played it? Did you pick it up at Gen Con, or have you pre-ordered it yet and you're waiting for it to come in? Or is it something that you know automatically will miss the mark completely with your gaming group? We'd love to know that. See if our thoughts are different than yours or the same. So comment down below. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you are not yet subscribed, please do so, because we'd love to have you hanging around.
And we'd love to let you, let me annoy Toph. Just keep asking to annoy Toph so I can get that face right there.
Brad has a new toy, and not only has he been pushing buttons, now he physically can push buttons.
I could bleep you too. Did you know that?
Please do so. Can you bleep yourself? Thanks, my friend.
September's going to be great here at Bad at Board Games. Anyway, remember, no matter what you play, whether it's solo, with family, or annoying your friend,
enjoy whatever games you and your annoying friends bring to you.
Have a great night.
Have a good night, y'all.
Bye.